There it goes.
Oh, I've missed you all so much.
And
Look
the
at
tech
you,
issues.
beautiful comment section. What an incredible, beautiful group of people you are. Hello, everyone. Hello, MFC Hat Guy. Hello, Reese. Hello, Chaboy. Hello, Riley, Jack, Katya, Yanni, Big Johnny. Good to see you all, everyone. Hello.
So good.
Say hello, Tom.
Hello. So good to be back.
Your camera's not cutting to you. This is why we do the test.
This is
before
why we do it. What about the other camera? Is it?
Let's go. Harriet, can you speak into the microphone?
Actually, yeah.
Testing.
Because I did double check.
I don't think
for
that's
this.
working.
Also, too bad if we wanted to do like an intro to who our guest is.
Yeah, no.
Surprise!
Well, this is just the
Oh, yeah,
filling in
that's-
area. This is the filling in. We will do a glorious introduction.
Well, it's not live.
But Marnie, at
No,
the
it's
moment,
slightly delayed. Yeah.
we're just watching on YouTube. This is letting the fan base come in, and then we'll do a record, and then it'll also go out tomorrow. It's also up here if you want to see yourself. Thank you, Reese, for that. That's very nice.
Isn't this just the way that
Usually, my parents are also in here, but they're stuck at Harvey Bay because the plane couldn't take off.
Because of the weather.
No, they said the pilot couldn't start it, the plane.
The pilot couldn't start the plane. You could start a plane?
Really?
I wish I could.
Oh.
Are you
Dream job.
to be a pilot?
Pilot.
Have you done any flying at all?
No, but I've been in the cockpit
Congratulations.
and worn the captain's hat.
Okay, were you an adult at the time?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, that's sick.
It was really cool.
I heard rumours.
Oh, your tattoo. So,
Oh.
I unfortunately go for Essendon. And when Essendon beat Melbourne, Broden had to get this.
This is an Ansett 747
How funny.
Sydney
So it was my
2000
birthday?
Olympics. Boeing 7.
I love that.
Cool, eh?
Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Is it
That's
working? Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Why that? Why did you have to get that?
Well, I had to get a plane, and she goes for the Bombers, so it was like a thing, and I kind of extrapolated that to be a plane that I would want.
Right.
So
yeah.
an Ansett plane.
Didn't want to get an Essendon logo for some reason.
Fair enough.
It's working now, but you just refuse to be in frame.
What are you talking about?
Fatty keeps making it wider, and you just
Oh.
keep moving.
Okay, we're going to focus in now. We're going to do the podcast.
Great. Oh, that wasn't. Oh.
Thanks for coming.
I'll move in, no worries. Okay. Shall we do classic intro?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, buckos, I've missed you so much. It's a big episode for Broden and Tom. We're back. I'm going to cough. Help me. Marnie's been doing incredibly. I just realized I can't do my big voice.
You have to.
But I'm going to cough. It's a huge episode. We've got a great guest. I'm losing my voice already. Let's do it. Let's.
Bounce that pill.
Pre-thing happening. It's all very weird, but I promise you it works. Hello and welcome, Marnie.
Hello.
You did. I've loved watching the show.
That's very kind.
Thank you so much for all the work you've done. Tom, how are you?
Oh, so good. Thank you for asking.
We woke up. I'll tell you an experience I had in Glasgow.
Okay.
I woke up at 8 a.m. and I went, oh, God, it started. And I got my laptop up, and without me knowing, Mitch and Lou were guests on the show, and Ben Brown and Hester were here, and their kids. There was like 48 people in the studio,
Yeah.
and I couldn't open my eyes. I was like, did I miss an email? And then, and there was just a wonderful, beautiful, wholesome episode. And then last week was also fantastic. We watched as the plane was taking off, and then every week, Isla, her updates,
Isla is Hester's 6-year-old daughter.
and has been doing an incredible job.
Yeah.
So I
she
just
has hot takes like Kate Hall should win the Best and Fairest.
Which is, I don't think a hot take at all. I think
I feel
best
like
and fairest of everything. And yes, and so thank you so much. It's been so fantastic.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed doing it?
It's been very stressful. Hosting is really quite difficult. It was really the Mitch Brown episode was fantastic, but I just was so aware of like timings, and we had like a hard out, and then like we had so many things like because Ben Brown came in and like read all of these like
Nice
just
messages.
nice messages from players, like men's players as well as women's players, just saying like what that moment meant. But it was just like, so going from that like emotional stuff to be like, and now we have a pre-record from Broden and Tom, and it was so, I found
You
it
were like,
so
chips-
stressful.
I just had
tone-wise.
chips, cheese, and gravy in Dublin. It was weird. It was a weird jump.
Yeah, but it was great, and I loved being with Hester so much.
You were saying it's hard to host.
Yeah.
You should just do what I do and do a bad job, and then it's all fine.
I think that's like it's gonna annoy me for so long. Tom's wearing a bucket hat, but you've got the label sticking out the side of your head, and it's actually like I can't focus on anything else.
What's wrong with it?
there's
No,
a-
it's just this like label sticking out.
the
This
thing
one?
when
Yeah.
what you would hang off at the Carlton store is still on it. Do you think because he's had 2 children, it's made his brain go to mush a little bit, and he doesn't worry about this stuff anymore?
I didn't know Tom before he had.
I never.
I knew
never
he was
bothered
one
me that
short
much.
child.
Yeah, true,
But,
true.
yeah.
But never bothered me much anyway. All this fashion rubbish. How to take your tags off your hats.
News to Johnny Big.
Never bothered me, I'll leave this tag on.
Okay.
Would you mind introducing our guest today?
Oh my goodness. I will. Stalwart of the Blues backline got the coaches award last year at the Best and Fairest, if I remember correctly. And in that speech and conversation on stage, it was mentioned that you eat like 11 eggs a day. And now I can't be in a conversation about you without eggs being brought up, which is very funny. It's Harriet Cordner.
Woo!
Yay!
That's going to be the whole chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've hijacked it now.
11 eggs.
Yeah, sometimes 10,
Oh,
but
well.
at least 10. Yeah.
Protein, hell bent on just
It started as a protein thing, but there's only like 6 grams of protein in an egg. So it's not a protein thing. I just love them. I just think they're so delicious.
How do you take your egg?
Just boiled.
Boiled. I do boiled eggs as well, but I expected you to say scrambled. At 10.
No, that would be my worst.
Really?
Yeah.
that's 60 grams of protein
Yeah.
Well
if,
done.
if you do the
Oh,
math.
good job,
Which
Brian.
is, yeah, well done.
Or
Which is
66.
not that much.
No, it's the same as like a steak,
Mm.
but
But
better.
they're just delicious.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But the main reason that we have Harriet on, other than we are a Carlton 84W podcast, is it's Carlton Respects round this weekend.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. I feel like we've 2 rounds left of W. That's it. It's a home and away. It is. It is.
And finals for some.
Mm.
And
Yes.
then how are you feeling about that, by the way, quickly?
For context, Carlton are 8th.
I'm feeling very excited. I'm feeling like we're in a position where we have complete control over what happens over the next couple of weeks. It's such a cliche, but if we win these 2 games, we can make final. I mean, I don't actually know mathematically what the situation is, but if we win, we give ourselves the best chance of playing finals, and that is really exciting.
Exciting. And it's the Carlton Respects round. What is that about?
Carlton Respects. Carlton Respects is all about gender equality, respectful relationships, values. My quote about it is just being a really good human. So, yeah, the club does a really great job at supporting the program, at sort of promoting Carlton Respects, and part of that is all those things I've just mentioned, and a lot of that goes a long way to preventing domestic violence and preventing violence against women, which is sort of what underpins Carlton Respects.
Right? That's awesome. And the shirts are wonderful. And the blues
Yes.
are wonderful. They are a nice orange. And who are you playing this week?
We are playing GWS, which is funny that the Orange Tsunami, we're going to be wearing orange socks. They're going to be wearing orange tops, and I'm going to be wearing orange boots, which is really, I was saying to Marnie off air, really unlike me. I've never worn a boot other than a white boot before, and I'm going to wear an orange boot this weekend.
That's exciting.
And I'm going to give it to, we're doing a race at 3/4 time for some kids that have done the Road to Respect program, and I'm going to give my boots to the winner.
Can I do it? Matisse, am I allowed to join the kids?
I don't know who gets to be in the race, but I think you have to someone who's done the program, who I've gone out to a school and delivered the program to.
Don't give them to the kids after the game, though.
At 3/4 time.
Finish the game.
Yes, after the game.
Because that would hurt.
I'm going to take them off after the game and
Okay.
hand them over to
Oh,
the
great.
child.
Just
Yeah.
clarifying. That's great. Are you happy to stick around for the show and talk footy with us? And
Yeah,
stuff?
I'd love to.
Are you happy?
No, I'm leaving.
Okay. Could you please stay? Are you cool to stay?
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
to talk about what you did this morning.
I know.
So much to unpack.
Yeah.
Yes, this is full on. So I'm going to hand over to Tom.
Yeah. So Marnie calls me yesterday and goes, I've got to do a charity thing. Talk about the charity really quickly.
So it's We Are Mobilise,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of work with Ned Brockman and his Uncomfortable Challenge, and it's all about helping people that are experiencing homelessness. So something that I care very deeply about because the system fails people, individuals shouldn't. It's the systems that fail people, and everyone deserves a safe and warm place to live. Anyway, I had to do something uncomfortable, either something uncomfortable like every day for 10 days, or I could just do one big thing on one big day. And I was like, I'll just do that.
And Marnie essentially calls me and goes, I mean, without paraphrasing you, you're like, I can't think of what to do, so I'm going to do what you did and go swim in the ocean at 8 a.m. when it's raining and in the middle of a monsoon, essentially. And I thought it was ironic because Marnie was the one telling me I couldn't do it.
Yeah, when Tom wanted to do this for the Fearless Challenge, I was like, no, you'll die. You can't swim in the ocean.
Swim where in the ocean?
So it was like Williamstown.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was Williamstown.
Williamstown Beach. So I swam 800 meters from like one rocky out cliff to another rocky thing and back.
He did it on grand final eve and he said, I'm doing this, so you better come. And then we brought someone who worked like an employee down there. And he went to Kmart on the way and got like an inflatable dinghy. And they're like, there's people swimming with like rafts and like all this safe. And he just got in and swam away. And then we're live streaming and halfway he just stopped in the middle of the ocean. And I was like,
Just the goggles.
I'm going to jail. And then he made it. But then I get news yesterday evening that Marnie's like, I'm going to do it too. And she's like,
I'm not a strong swimmer.
but she said, but I'm not a strong swimmer and I've not trained.
And
I went to the pool twice to train. Thank you.
The first panic attack I ever had was in the ocean. So I was like, it's an uncomfortable thing to do because I'm genuinely scared of the ocean and I'm scared of large bodies of water. Perfect.
Mad respect to you. I think it's so cool. And I think it's great because I was making the joke to Marnie. I kept joking that I'm pound for pound the best cross-country swimmer in Australia. And I was thinking Marnie's the same, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
all the other 12-year-olds, she could fucking smoke them, you know?
So I woke up this morning at 8 and it was like monsoon. Like the scene where Tom Hanks is on the plane in Castaway. I was like, that's the vibe this morning. And I was like, Marnie's in the ocean.
In the ocean.
So tell us how it went.
Yeah, was it cold?
It was cold, but I think the fact that it was raining helped because I was already soaking wet. So it wasn't going from like complete dry to complete cold. And also everyone being so worried about me. So it's very funny getting a call from Broden the day before and I was like, did you talk to Tom? And you were just like, yes, what are you doing? Everyone being really worried about me. Like I feel like I thought it was going to be so much worse than it was.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just like, get a wetsuit. And I was like, I don't have time to get a wetsuit. I'll be fine.
That was my
I'll just
one
like cop
piece
it.
of advice. I was like, great idea, Marnie.
Yeah.
Get a wetsuit.
And like it was
So you
cold.
didn't do it in a wetsuit?
No, I just did it. I'm pretty tough actually.
Did you do it in a wetsuit?
No, I just did it in board shorts.
Yeah. But
And I was suffered because of it.
but we get there and there's just like these like rocks and stuff. And then there was a lady already in the water in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was like, I'll swim to this like stick thing
No.
and back.
No, that's not what I told you to do.
I know,
No.
but she was like, there's jellyfish, so don't. And because I am quite scared of anything touching me in the water, I was
Same.
like, I won't be able to do that. Like if I see a jellyfish, I'll actually have a panic attack. So everyone was just like, just swim to the shore. So I swam like 10 meters.
Were you swimming or walking?
Oh, yeah, a bit of both.
Wading through shallow water.
And everyone just being like, oh my God, you did such a good job. I was like, I just had a swim at the beach.
Oh yeah.
It was freezing cold. I think you did a great job. But it's funny that I swam 800 meters.
Yeah, it is funny.
A round of applause for Marnie for
Fantastic.
her super charity. I'm glad it went well.
I'm also glad it went well.
Also, the footage. Go and look on socials. There's a shot. It's the most beautiful shot I've ever seen.
Yeah, because I had like sorry. Patty was there doing content for us.
Hey.
We absolutely love. And also We Are Mobilised was there doing content for us. And because everyone was so concerned about me, one of them was like, I'm going to get in the water with you.
I was about to ask if there was someone
Yeah.
close by.
But he had his phone in there to take footage the whole time. That's how shallow it was.
Marnie, you're drowning. You're just standing there.
He's just like
Oh
filming
no.
him. So the shots are like it's like raining as I'm swimming. And so it's like
Swimming in
looks
the
cool.
rain is really nice.
Yeah, I
It's
love
actually
it.
a really fun experience.
Yeah. That was my morning. I'm really brave and tough and cool.
That's very So name the charity again. What was it?
We Are Mobilised. So it's like Ned Brockman. It's his, like when he does the Uncomfortable Challenge, it's his thing.
Milk.
Yes, because they wanted to send me a package and I said, no, I'm an ABC employee, I can't. But part of it was like chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love chocolate milk, and Ned's is good. My last question, I'm sorry, I have to ask before we move on. Does this mean you're going to copy for every charity challenge going forward?
No.
Money's going to one-up me on every charity challenge going forward.
Just one up you.
Well, I'm glad it went so well. Shall we crack into some news?
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's time for the news. Marnie One. Mics are still on so they can hear this. Marns, what's the news?
Well, should we start with talking about Carlton?
Yes.
I know we touched on Carlton respects, but I would like to dig a little bit deeper
Please.
if that's
Yes.
okay. Especially because I think that I've spoken on mic a lot about how tokenistic a lot of things can feel when it comes to people in the AFL landscape caring about gender-based violence, but Carlton actually does the work, which Harriet can talk to. And one of the things that I really liked when we were speaking beforehand was you explaining when you go and deliver these programs to children and how kind of tackling those gender stereotypes at such a young age. And a lot of people might have a disconnect as, okay, well, like how can teaching kids about gender stereotypes help domestic violence in society, and just drawing those links and the role that sport can play in all of that?
Yeah, I think that is something that people sometimes find hard to connect those two things. But for me, it's the conversations we have are around processing and managing your emotions and kind of the importance of being able to do that. And, you know, we encourage conversations with both the young boys and girls that we go and deliver to around, you know, the comfortable emotions we might feel, the uncomfortable emotions we might feel, and they see videos of our male players and our W players talking about those emotions. In the stereotype module, we do an activity where students match some facts to some players, or try and match facts to players.
Oh, right.
So we have player headshots and we have facts, and then we sort of talk about which facts might have surprised them. And one of them is Jordan Boyd likes to paint his nails. And that's just one that the kids every time, you know, they never match that one to Boydie. And it just starts a really good conversation, you know, around, well, why shouldn't he? And kids sometimes volunteer things that might happen in, you know, maybe my brother comes in, maybe I'll paint his nails next time, or, you know, I'll offer him to be able to paint his nails, or those kind of conversations. Another one is Harry Mackay loves to listen to Taylor Swift. The girls just can't believe that. You know, and him and Pitt are always playing Taylor Swift in the gym. So we kind of are able to recount that story and say, you know, and Pitto made some friendship bracelets when the Eras tour was on, and, you know, lots of players came to that. So I think it opens just the door for some conversations around that. And we talked a bit before around being a football club, you know, really understanding that we have a role and I guess a responsibility to create positive change in the world and you know, have a positive influence on society. And this is just one way we can do that, by kind of highlighting that the players within our programs are just human beings, and they have interests and they have likes, and that's not based on their gender. And, you know, my favorite thing that I always ask after the stereotype activity, if we're not going to stereotype and we're not going to make assumptions about people, what can we do? And the kids just say, well, we can ask them. And it's sort of just this moment of like, that is just so simple. But I think as society and as adults, we probably underestimate that is just such an easy thing to be able to do. And kids are like, well, yeah, just go and ask them and just listen to their answer. You know, it's so simple for an 8-year-old.
It's profound.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that for me, the reason why I love that so much is it kind of just highlights the impact and the importance of a program like this. And it sort of reminds me every time they say that, I sort of get reminded of, yeah, actually it is really easy. But we don't do it so well all the time.
Do you like doing these classes and these courses with people?
Yeah, I love it.
I can imagine.
It.
Do you feel like you see change? You see eyes open and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I learn stuff from the kids as well. I see kind of I've seen a change over the time I've been in AFLW. I've only been doing the respect stuff for, you know, sort of a year and a half now, but I've seen change in the AFLW space even, and it's highlighted in the stuff I do with respects, just because the kids now, you know, when we walk in, they don't sort of ask where the male players are. They're happy that W players are delivering to them, and they see us as somewhat of an equal. And I think that also just highlights kind of the change that is happening. So for me, it's rewarding to be able to see it firsthand.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just, when you were talking about like the kids just getting it, it reminds me of just like watching the way that Darcy Vesio coaches, I want to say under 12s, but it might be under 14s, and the way that they just respond. I remember once they only had like male and female bathrooms at whatever place they were at. And so one of the kids just printed off like just I can't remember what it said, but just like covered it to be like, no, we don't do male and female here because Darcy is included. And it was just like, yeah, how can kids get it so easily and it not even just be like a thing? They're just like, okay, great.
Yeah, it's just so simple to them.
Yeah.
And I think that's refreshing to kind of see their perspective on it. You know, we put so much hard work into creating the modules and figuring out what activities will work and which video, and for the kids, it's sort of like, well, yeah, that's the world we live in, you know. So I think that is a pleasing. We were talking a bit about sort of focusing on some of those positives. That is a really pleasing thing that I'm kind of immersed in that environment where the kids do just see it as normal. But that's why those conversations are important, because they then relay that back at home.
Yeah.
And maybe the issue isn't with the 8-year-olds in the world, you know, the issue is broader than that. So if those conversations can even start making a change at a different level, then that's a positive impact that we can have.
Those incursions at primary schools and high schools that stay with kids forever.
Yeah.
One of my first jobs out of acting school was doing a play about cyberbullying in high schools and primary schools. And it was the worst show in the world. And I hated it. But I still get people come up to me and say, you were in that show at my school in 2012. But it's to say you are doing something good in schools. But it stays with them. And that's awesome.
Were you a bullier or a victim?
I was Jake the Ape. He's a bully. But then by the end he learns that he was actually being cyberbullied too. And it's secular. And you got to stop. And I did a rap.
loved those things coming into schools. I thought
Not
they were the
this one.
coolest. I want to see it.
I did a rap.
Off you go.
We're going to find it.
Have you ever heard of a cyber bully? They use mobile phones, computers to bully fully. I'm going to stop.
Stunning.
There must be
for me.
footage somewhere of this.
No.
You should perform at halftime at the Carlton Respects game.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Matisse, let's organise that.
I'll give away my shoes at 3/4 time as well. That's great. Thank you for doing it.
No worries.
Yeah. Good job.
What else?
News-wise, I haven't actually I've got just like lots of little tidbits.
I love that.
Your girl Kate Hawes on 97 goals, but so is Jazzy Garner.
Well,
But also Gemma Houghton's now on 94, so she could swoop in and get to the Hungy first.
Who did Melbourne play Brisbane?
Yeah, Melbourne play Brisbane and
North plays
doesn't
St
matter.
Kilda.
Yeah.
well, they're both kind of good matches. Oh, that could be both low scoring potentially. North
They
going
could
up.
be.
Saints might hold them off a little bit for a quarter.
It would be cool if they just shared the goals to other people, and then if North and Melbourne meet in a grand final and then they get their 100 goals in a grand
That
final.
would be lovely.
That would be great.
I'm curious.
That
now.
means neither of them, like, they can't kick more than 3 in the next 6 weeks.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't, 5 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen. I
Melbourne
hate to
need
burst
Kate.
your bubble,
Good.
but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Will people run on the field for 100?
No,
Not happening.
not happening.
I'm doing it. No.
No. Well, one, player safety.
Yes, yes.
I've had conversations about this.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. But also I feel very strongly about when people try and manufacture moments that it won't hit, and where W is. Like, let's say like it's a game at Casey and you've got 3,000,
Yeah.
if that people, then you've got 20 running on a field. It's going to feel janky and
Awkward.
it's going to
Fair
awkward.
point.
And then you put the security people under, like what? Like, oh, it's
Good
just.
point too.
But you run on for sure.
No, I'm not doing it now. No, good shout. Well, yeah, I think Jazzy probably gets it this weekend, doesn't she?
Well, that's if Croc doesn't rest her, because North Melbourne may look to rest some players, which is, I mean, yeah, why would you not? If you're North Melbourne, you've got Saints and Hawthorn, which are both two good sides in the top 8, but I mean, like, I don't know. How do you
I
feel
would
about
hate to be rested.
Yeah.
I just would not stand for it.
Really?
Nope.
But also, like, I mean, also, if you've got Ash Riddell and Jazzy Garner in contention for the best and fairest, and then they get rested and they don't get it because of that, I would be a bit upset.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fair point too.
I don't think he'll rest either of them.
Who would he rest?
Maybe like a Carney.
Oh, sure, like the older players.
Careful. Careful.
Similar age to Emma Carney.
I'm 26.
Congratulations. You've got
Thank you.
a decade left, at least.
Mm-hmm. At least.
How old is Carney? 30?
She's 30.
36.
36.
Yeah.
35. 36.
Yeah.
I don't want to accidentally age her.
No.
Just get a message.
Yeah. Oi.
Or maybe a player who's like come back from an injury.
Yep.
I can't think of who has come back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She had that lacerated, that
Oh.
awful injury, liver. Yeah,
That makes me feel very
that wasn't
uncomfortable.
in the game against us.
Was it? Who
And
hit
I
her?
didn't even. I don't know. Like it wasn't something that happened at the time and you were aware of it. It was afterwards. She went to hospital and it was discovered. So I don't know how it happened.
God, it makes me feel sick. Yeah, especially with the Petrarca stuff. It feels like everything, like the world's moved on so much, but did you want to talk about trade?
Well, Tom, the whole tour was just saying he would wake me up and say, Petrarca's ours now.
Yeah.
And he was just,
Tom obviously goes for the Gold Coast.
he was brutal about it. But I can say the top line is I feel very happy about the move at Melbourne. I know some people in the room go for Melbourne as well. They won't want to be public about that, but I think they feel good about it. I feel positive, and I think Gold Coast are a chance next year now.
I think they were a chance this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, shaking your head at me. I think you're looking very good.
I had to come around to it. At day one of trade period where I saw we were losing like 6 to 8 players, I really thought it was time to keep the group together because it was like the first time I made the finals or whatever. So it was really sad and I was really freaked out about it. But Broden talked me around. He's like, track. But, so many of those like players who've just been around for ages, like Fiorini and Flanders and all these guys leaving, I do worry that it's going to be half a step back to take a step forward. But that's always my fear.
Yeah. I think the Sydney one's interesting. I think Cordner is going to be fantastic for the Swannies, but I think everyone's underrated how good Will Hayward is. But now you got him. I love him so much. I hope please look after him. Please look after him so much. I love him so much. I just, and also Ollie, like I can't, I feel bad that there was that game. It was like Sydney Hawthorn and Ollie Florent just kicked it from the backline straight into a Hawthorn player that kicked a goal. And it was just like the moment. It's just like etched itself into my brain. And now whenever anyone mentions Ollie Florent, it's all I can think about.
Have you talked about Merritt yet?
No.
Do you want to?
Not really.
Fair enough.
I just, I actually feel really bad for him now at this point.
Yeah.
It's going to be awful. I think a lot of people just kind of thought he was going. I think he thought he was going. I agree with if you sign a contract, you should be held to that contract. But oh god, it was the vision of his manager as well that made me feel really awful for Merritt. Like at that point, I was like, oh.
It's WWE levels of like the cameras following the players into these rooms. It was bizarre to watch that footage.
Yes, it made me a bit uncomfortable.
This guy, Tom Petroro, I think his manager, sort of like gesticulating and like it felt like a WWE thing, like, but it was bizarre that they do that.
It's such bad vibes. I think like I can't remember exactly because we were in another country, but I think someone was saying it was 3 first got Jeremy Cameron done. So how does it not get Merritt done? And I feel like, it felt like a bit like, this is just bad vibes for everyone. So hopefully Essendon can repair those bad vibes pretty quickly.
It was really bad vibes for everyone. Yeah. But I will say as well, I feel like because we don't let players speak openly very often and say anything actually spicy, I would like some like actual genuine rival. Like if they make Essendon Hawthorn like one of the first rounds, that would be very exciting, I think. Spicy. I mean, Hawthorn will obviously win that, but it will be like I want like actual like fans to be able to engage in like proper rivalries. Essendon Hawthorn in the W this weekend.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Exciting. That's great.
Yeah.
But that was it was an exciting trade period, but I think Carlton will be good.
And now it's delisting season, which makes me feel awful.
The worst time of year.
I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah, some big names too being sort of moved. An ex-Norm Smith player, Jason Johannesson, has been moved on. Mason Cox was in a prelim a few weeks ago.
I know one club that needs a ruck and a forward and a back line and a mid and anyone. Yeah.
No, but it was fun. But
Have you been sad about anyone?
Have I been sad about?
Caleb Poulter, I don't like that. I wanted him to stay at Doggies. but we'll take him
Yeah. Well, I was surprised with the D's with what
every time. Like,
you come over.
come to us. We have no one.
What is fine? The D's delisted Taj Woden, which really
really?
surprised me because I thought he had a bit more time, so that surprised me. Kine and Brown as well, some father sons as well, surprised
Kine
me.
and Brown as well.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to pick them up again or not, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Talking about family links in footy.
We're in the presence of greatness for the Melbourne Football Club. Yes, your grandfather
Yes, my grandfather
was an
did
icon
play.
of the Melbourne Football Club.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It is very cool.
There's rooms named after him all over the MCG, isn't there? I believe.
Yeah, the MCC entrance is named after him. And
Yeah.
then, there's a couple, like near the long room, there are a couple of portraits and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but you play for Carlton now, so you would never.
I did play for Melbourne, though.
I know you did. Yeah.
But we don't have to talk about that.
No, it's you. I remember you watching the 2021 grand final with your family. I remember photos of you at home having the best time and just carrying on having the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying off air, I feel flat that was the grand final we won
Yeah.
in COVID. I think technically we weren't supposed to all be together, but just me and my two brothers and my mum and dad watched it and kind of were happy about it. But yeah, and my grandpa was obviously played a long, long time ago, but yeah, it does feel cool to kind of have that connection to the footy club for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I saw on family stuff that Sunny Lappin has nominated the Suns. So, daughter of Matthew Lappin, and could have gone to the Saints or D's, I think, but is going to go Gold Coast for academy. Which and by the vibe of the Suns W social media, I think this is going to be a very good player for us.
Suns excited about a Suns player.
Yeah, very, very, very excited. Actually. So that's cool.
That is cool. I love father-daughter.
Yeah.
I can't wait for mother-child.
Yes. I'm not putting any pressure on anyone, but I am watching Daisy, the twins from afar, just going, yes, both play. Because there'll be mother-son and mother-daughter theoretically, won't there?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I wonder what the games will be. What do you have to play to be father-son?
It has to be
How many
indexed, surely, doesn't it? Like,
But it's 100 plus,
games.
isn't it?
So I wonder what it'll be in the W because it takes
Yeah,
a long time to get
exactly, yeah.
games.
Yes. Like, how many games did Days play all up?
No.
she,
When they won the premiership in 22
Mm.
and she played from 2017 and missed one season.
55.
55.
Oh,
Even
maybe they'll
now.
cap it at 50 for
Yeah.
the first
Or-
bit of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 50, would be like 5 seasons almost, like for the start, right? So that would make, that's a considerable contribution to a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because back in early days it was 7 games.
Yeah.
So like even 50
Exactly.
is...
Yeah, absolutely.
should go by years or so cool. Do you see as well they announced the coaches of the All Stars today?
Yeah.
Chris Scott and Dean Cox.
I honestly, so like W trade finishes December 15th and then State of Origin will be, for men's, will be February 14th. Just like, I
I don't know.
It's a
anything
long
about this
year.
stuff. What is it? Like, so
An State of Origin game.
they're
in
actually playing.
February. Yeah, in
Oh.
February.
So they've got Chris Scott as the
The V,
V coach and then Dean Cox will be
the WA.
the WA.
That's why you were making us do a best 22 Victorian in the group chat today.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense. I was like, this is so random.
How do you have time for that?
It's disinteresting. Like, I don't know if I'll be interested by the time it comes around, but the idea of Gawn and Dacos and Bontempelli and Matt Rowell
Mm.
and the equivalent in the W as well, like how cool that would be to see.
I want Oz v Irish very
That would
badly.
be so cool.
That would
I'm
be cool.
so glad you brought that up. So I went on a tour of Croke Park when I was in Dublin.
Yeah.
And AFLW in Ireland is the sport. When you turn on the television, it is on because they are so proud of all their girls who are playing over here. It's on, like you go through Croke Park, you can mention Sinead Goldrick or whoever, like you can, and they're like, yep, yeah, we know her, absolutely, yeah, she played Oak. But they're like they're just so bought in as well. Like it's a vibe up there.
That's so cool.
yeah.
It honestly is one of my biggest gripes against a lot of the AFLW pushback from within the AFL. broader community because I'm like, you should be so proud of W. Like it is I'm pretty sure the highest paid contact women's sport in the world.
All right.
I'm saying pretty sure because, you know, some basketball's not contact or whatever might be. I just, and I'm like, you should be so proud of it. Like that's so cool. Like on a global scale. Like why don't we have that?
Yeah, it would if you played an international rules game up there at Croke Park, I feel like it would absolutely go.
Yeah. Oh,
So cool.
I would love to go to Ireland.
Yeah, you can have
I want to go to Ireland too.
Yeah.
First thing I ate was chips, cheese and curry.
Yeah, I was there. It was disgusting.
Bad?
Yeah, really, really bad.
No, curry
What,
sauce
in a
is
bowl?
really good.
Yeah, just in a bowl.
It looked like slop.
No,
It
you
was.
but
I
like,
enjoyed it, but it was gross.
the curry should have been on the sides. You can dip it.
Oh no,
Mm.
it was a whole slop
They're just like,
situation.
well, that's gross.
I'm going to have to ask the Irish girls about that. Chips, cheese and curry.
Yeah. And also when we were there was an NFL game on, and so the whole place was just obnoxious Americans everywhere.
Mm.
Not from Broden, not for Tom, but yes.
Aren't you going to America?
Yeah, can't wait. Next Friday, yeah, New York show next Saturday. Come along, tickets still on sale. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, my big piece this week was on footy fatigue, but I feel like we all feel it. Just because I do think that that's one of the things that like the AFLW is like most up against is that like even the most diehard fans that you talk to are like, it's just such a long year. And I've spoken a lot this year about how like I think that for W to be successful, it should be separate and treated separately from the men's and not fit within the men's. But that is the strategy that the AFL have gone with, and the AFL are targeting men's fans. And every men's fan that I speak to is so tired, and so especially coming off trade. Because even just like I talked to like Sench, like content creators being like, you don't really touch a lot of W, and there's all this enthusiasm. Like round one, I always have people being like, how do I do W better? I'm really excited to cover W. And then it gets to round 9. I'm like, you've done one post in 10 weeks. And that's not like having a go, but like why? And it's just like, well, in order to do it authentically, you have to watch all the games. You have to be involved in it. We started this in February. Everyone is so exhausted and tired. And so I just wrote about that.
Great article.
Great article.
Did you?
It's fantastic.
Give it a read, abc.net.au/Marnie Vinyl.
Yeah, just Google my name. Get my numbers up.
Shall we crack into tipping?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Tipping.
Tipping.
I assume not.
Tipping. Tipping.
Hell yeah.
Are you allowed to tip?
Not like I can tell you who I think.
Yeah, great. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can posit an opinion
Yes. I can do that.
as we come into round 11. Holy heck, it is. It does. The fatigue thing is true, but also the season has gone really fast in my mind.
I know. And that's also like, I also wrote about this week, Paddy's team. Like I actually do really feel for Richmond fans because they went 7 weeks without a win and then they beat Adelaide, which was a very exciting game. They actually were really good against North. Like for up until the fourth quarter, that was a pretty exciting game to watch. And then they beat Collingwood and leapfrog Collingwood on the ladder. And it's like now they have all this momentum and they're really fun to watch and you get to watch 2 more weeks and then they're done. Like that sucks.
The momentum's all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Would you go 22 ideally? 22 rounds, yeah.
I mean, a leap from 12
I think
to
you just
22.
play everyone once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like just that seems to me the simple.
That's what they should both do.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
for
I
the
think
men's too.
yes.
Yeah.
In both competitions, just everybody plays each other once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang on.
And then
Yeah.
there's no like question about fixture. You don't have to figure out an algorithm. You just everybody gets.
We
to
love
play
algorithms. Algorithm. Yeah, have you seen that documentary about how they do fixturing? They send it to some
No.
guy in Canada. There's some guy who's told the AFL he's really important, and he's like, "Oh, I figured
I
it out."
figured out.
They did a documentary on it.
Really?
Yeah,
Does he? Oh, that's so interesting.
there's a guy.
Yeah.
There's one
That's a guy.
guy.
They just give it to me. I know how to do it. It's true.
Yeah, because your lot don't play North until you maybe meet in the grand final, and you don't get tested.
Which I love. Yeah, because like, I'm happy to live in naivety
Yeah.
until November 27 or whenever it is. But
Yeah.
we're playing. Yeah, we've not played Brisbane until now either, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Ignorance is bliss. We always say it.
Or Adelaide.
Yeah.
Or Hawthorn.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're any good. I think I'm really more concerned about the Essendons and the Giants of
not
the world.
every team gets tested, right? So we don't really know.
It's true. It's true. Well, speaking of Adelaide, there is a beautiful game at Norwood Oval with one straight boundary line between Adelaide and Port Adelaide.
Showdown.
We call this a showdown. We call this the Villies Cup. We call this the...
Are you across Phillies? Oh, it's like
It's a pie.
It's a pie.
if
Yeah.
it's the South Australian or just Adelaide specific, South Australian pie.
Yeah.
Like
And is it good?
We once broadcasted live from the bakery when Marnie's parents came.
yeah.
Had a nice
You
time.
have like a black card so you can have unlimited Philly stuff. Yeah.
Oh my! Wait, just a meat pie, like a beef pie?
Yeah.
All kinds of but they did
have
really good
avocado.
vegetarian stuff. Like I had like options.
Mm.
And their gravy's really good. Don't know if it's vegetarian, but their gravy's really good.
No.
Better
Didn't
than
ask.
just like a 4 and 20.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
just-
a big call.
I just have an AFLW story I forgot to tell.
Place.
It's coming through the airport, and Melbourne had beaten Sydney.
Mm.
And I was coming back from Sydney on Saturday, and I was walking through the airport, and Sydney was stroppily walking through the airport upset straight after the game. And a nice old person went to, "How'd you go?" And I'm not sure which Sydney player it was. Like, "We lost." And just kept walking.
Oh, I want to know so bad.
But I enjoyed
That's
it.
so fun. What's Carlton's mood like after a loss? Like if you had to fly back after a loss?
Flying back's never fun.
Yeah.
We flew back from Sydney after losing to Sydney. And it was actually okay this year. I feel like we've been better this year at not kind of riding the highs and lows a bit. Like last year we really did. And some of that comes from, I think sometimes you think you've got to look really upset after it. Like
Yeah.
it's like this, if I don't look like I'm really upset, then people will think I don't care about it. And that's just not, sometimes you can, like you haven't really even dissected the game when you're flying home, right? You don't know, did we do these things well? Did we, how did we get beaten? Was it like all of those kind of things? So I think we've been really good at that this year, just kind of being quite balanced.
Yeah, authenticity, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say your men's side probably copped that
Yeah.
a lot. Where like it would be like people would be like suddenly body language experts in what they look like after rooms. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are you doing? Yeah.
I feel like we have been much better this year at kind of just pausing after the game and like still saying hi to the kids over the fence and
So I should
kind
stop
of-
texting your teammates flaggers every time you win.
We're doing it.
yeah, that's the other thing. We're trying not to act like we've won a premiership when we
Yeah.
win a game as well. So it's like just equilibrium the whole time.
You do feel there is a maturing that seems to have happened with the team this year. There's like a real steadfast nature as well. But it's just strangely because when I think of the team this year, I think of a very young Abby Mackay.
Okay. Yeah, I know, right?
As like she feels like spiritually representative of this team somehow. This kind of swagger and this kind of that's watching you.
Well, she is very just equilibrium. You don't like. She's not.
They're the scary ones, like Ashcroft, Piastri, like these people who just like, yep, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, and she's just very like she wouldn't get overly excited about many things, but she doesn't get overly down about many things either. She's just pretty cool, calm, collected. So I feel like that energy is probably filtering through the room.
Did I say the right McKay? Did I say Abby instead of Sophie?
You said Abby,
You
the
said Abby.
captain.
Yeah,
That's
no,
correct.
no, Sophie. I mean,
Oh, she's not.
no. Okay, right.
No. Abby is, Sophie's not.
she's
So Sophie brings high energy, excitement, just like wildness.
oh, that's great.
Abby brings just, yep, just like that. Just cool, calm, collected.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So they're opposite. Yeah.
yeah, great. Cool.
But we've got a good balance of both of them.
So Adelaide, I'm tipping. By the way, like being watching the D's closely, like Port are horrifying. Like they are quite good.
Port?
Like, yeah.
This would be good live. I'll go Port. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be Port's first showdown win. Right?
Ever.
Right? In the W.
We'll check that.
They only came in 2022.
I think
Adelaide
you're
have
right.
been pretty strong.
Oh, yeah.
I'd back myself with that.
Yeah.
I think you should. Great. Who are you going?
Adelaide, I think.
Yeah, I think you have to go Adelaide, but I think it's worth watching along purely for that. It's the West Coast and Freo thing as well. Like, when is it going to happen? It's going to happen eventually.
I'm Yes, I'm correct.
Marnie loves to be correct.
I do not like to be wrong, and because people will tell me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Have you got the next game? I've lost internet. Oh, no, Sydney West Coast.
This is very exciting because both fighting to stay in the top 8. And it will be West Coast first final series. And Daisy's second season in charge?
Yeah.
So really good for the AFLW for her team to be doing well.
Yeah.
Great for a media perspective.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But
also I'm a member of Sydney, so
have Sydney dropped off a little bit towards the end of the year, or are they going okay?
I thought so, but then your lot.
They had a bit of a slump for a couple of weeks, but then they really came out firing against us. And we're pretty good against Melbourne in the first half.
Casey's a different
Last week.
story as well.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
yeah. I'll go West Coast for the story of it.
Okay, I'll go Sydney.
Sydney.
I would tip West Coast in that game.
I love that.
Love it.
Good stuff.
Have you
And-
played West? No, you will.
We're playing them in the last round.
So you would you want them off a loss or a win?
Hard to know, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll take them, whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
We talked about this game a little bit earlier, but at Windy Hill, with our mate Hester, probably master of ceremonies, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Hester's now the MC for the games.
Yes, that was
So
a
cool.
special Pride Round MCing gig, but I think they should put her on the books full time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm.
Essendon Hawthorn, Windy Hill.
I think you have to go Hawks.
Have to go Hawks, I think.
Yeah.
But spiritually, Essendon win.
Sure.
And then Freo Richmond. This is great to see the rise of Richmond. I think going over to Freo in Fremantle is a whole different situation.
Mm.
But yeah, I particularly after the other week of watching the D's over there, is awful. It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tipping Freo.
Freya.
I might go Richmond. Also, because Richmond weren't bad. I know they lost 7 games in a row, but they had more inside 50s than they had last year. It was just that they couldn't do anything when they're inside there. But now they are. Because KB had 3 goals on the weekend? Caitlin Greiser had 2. Yeah.
That's what Patty always says.
Yeah, their forward line are actually clicking now.
Yeah.
And I like them.
I like that. Did you tip?
Yeah, I think I'll go Freya for sure.
And then this one scares me a lot. Did you have any thoughts on that game?
Freo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All good points, though.
Yeah.
D's and Brisbane.
Mm.
Is that-
Reality check.
That's at
That's
Brighton.
over there.
We won a grand final there once, but
We did.
still it's a fortress surely now.
Is it?
No, you beat them up there, didn't you?
We did, yeah.
How was that? Was that a cool experience?
Yeah, that was really cool. It's actually a really cool ground for
Is it?
W. It's got a really nice vibe. And we played at 5 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock. There was 5 o'clock, like a twilight.
Mm.
It was a nice ground for W. I liked
Oh,
it.
cool.
Isn't it one of its other names like the Michael Voss
Yeah, there's
ground?
there was a weird little video we got from Michael Voss before that game.
Yeah.
In Michael
Is he
Voss
bench pressing?
ground or something. No, he was sort of standing at his desk. It was a strange experience. Anyway, yeah, I think it is called the Michael Voss ground or something.
I'm gonna tip Lions.
Really?
Yeah.
Broden.
Broden.
It's not
Yeah,
on.
I every time they go in a state in games we should win, it's a tight game. If they get over the line, then I feel really, really good about the D's. But they've done it with Port and they've done it with Freo,
Oh, yeah.
where I don't think they travel the best.
Are they the 2 games they've lost this
Yeah.
year, Port and Freo?
Yeah, and they were close games too. We let Port get away, and then Freo, the end of that.
Kiara Bowers.
Yeah, oh my
Put you
god,
to bed.
nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Brisbane.
I think Brisbane as well.
I think Brisbane.
That'll be a good game, though.
yeah. No, I'll be upset. And then Doggies Geelong at Mars in Ballarat.
I know. I would love to go to this game, but we won't be because we would be heading off to Princess Park.
Of course, at Icon. That's where
But
it's at.
I would
Much
love
closer.
to go. Also, I don't have a car, but I would love to go to Mars Stadium.
They're both the teams who should be playing at Mars Stadium if they were they are the West.
Mm-hmm.
When you I used to live in Ballarat, unfortunately, and everyone goes for Geelong there. They've got stickers on Geelong of everything around. And it's annoying.
Yeah.
And it's what's wrong with Ballarat. Many things. But I'll tip the Cats.
I'm going Doggies for that
I
game.
thought the Doggies as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Been a real surprise. I really thought they'd be really bad. They've been really good at times.
Mm-hmm.
They have.
Mm.
I'll go Cats.
Fair enough. Then
Split.
North Saints. North.
North.
North for me.
It'll
too,
be their
yes.
23rd win in a row.
You don't.
Incredible.
You don't. How? Why are they so good?
It's a great question. They have a lot of good players, but they play very good team football. Like I think from when they first came into the competition, they went after playing a good brand of football, and they then picked players to play that brand of football rather than I think they obviously they missed out, a few years in a row and got really close, but then they filled holes that they needed to with players rather than changing their game plan. So they were always going to end up playing a really good brand of football whenever they got there, and they've found it now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
They delisted Georgia Nanscorn, who's now Essendon's best player.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great player.
Yes,
I love watching her play.
me too.
She was a really good hockey player too.
Yes, she was like the first hockey route of 50 caps and then 100 caps, I'm pretty sure.
I went to when I was in under 11s, I played a bit of hockey.
There we go.
And I went to a state trial,
Mm.
and my dad was like, that little redhead, she is such a good player. And I was kind of like, what about me?
Yeah.
Whatever. We watched Georgia, and she got hit in the head with a hockey stick at the trial. And he was kind of like, oh no, she won't be able to, he was all sad about her not being able to complete it. And she got back up and, scored another 3 goals. And dominated. And it
tough.
was like,
Georgia Nance.
so then when she popped up on the footy scene, I was like, oh,
Look out.
oh, I know you.
At least she hasn't got a stick.
Because she's so good, like low to the ground. Like she's got that hockey.
Yeah, yes.
So good.
Yeah.
But can she swim 10 meters?
Haven't seen it. So,
Whenever I think of field hockey, the first thing I think of is taking a stick to the mouth.
yeah.
Oh, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
I played in year 7, and I was not very good at it.
I feel like it's a hard sport to be good at.
we,
I know there are lots of people that are good at, but it's hard sport.
they don't even. It's not even got there's no cool Mighty Ducks movie about it. I played on the 1-year anniversary of 9/11, and my whole team of year 7s went, let's put on an armband, and we had this green tape,
No, you didn't.
and we put green armband on as a sign of respect in year 7 in 2002. No one asked us.
Do you have a photo of this?
No,
Okay.
but I remember it vividly.
Before camera phones, I think.
So that's my
Thankfully.
experience with field hockey. And then the next game is, here it is, Icon Park, 3:05 on Sunday. Beautiful, beautiful time. A tram ride away for most people. Beautiful stadium. You'll get a Gab Pound bobblehead, I'm sure.
Oh, well, I'll bring, because we have a bunch of Harriet Cordner footy cards, and I'll see if I can get them signed. And then if you come up to me at the game, I'll give them to you.
Are you boundary riding for this?
No, I'll just be there. I will
Right.
be working,
Supporting.
so I will also find GWS stuff to give to people.
Yes.
Oh my God, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of GWS, I mean, it's now been broken. Jacob's leaving. I didn't mention that in news.
Jacob Gainey,
End of it.
social media manager
Era.
for Giants, has been poached by the Tasmania Devils.
How long's he been at Giants for?
I couldn't a fair chunk.
5 years.
Wow.
And we should feel like there's articles about this today.
Yeah.
And this
People
show
care.
should feel connected to it because we were the first people to talk to him. Ever. No one ever spoke to him before that.
Yeah.
No, but you were the first person to be like, the social media work they're doing up there is groundbreaking and different and cool. Who is it? So well done, Brod.
I deserve 10%
Yeah, I reckon.
of whatever
At
the
least.
Devils, Brendan Gale's give. But yeah, shout out, congratulations, Jacob.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch that.
Yeah. Will he be funny down there?
We'll find. Oh, yeah.
I'd
What will he be
assume
allowed to do?
because of the Suns that they were going to walk a very straight line, like corporate AFL.
Have you seen their mascot?
Yeah, which is groovy, but I really just thought they were going to play it straight bat. Now I don't know if they will, huh?
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Did I tell you when I met Raman what happened?
When you met Raman?
Yeah. I was
No,
at,
what
I
happened?
was at the Odeon Theatre in Hobart, and we organised for him to come down and meet my comedy group. And he was in the wings. Someone said, Raman's here. It's like, great. I walked into the wings, and it was the darkness. Have you seen Raman?
No.
The giant
Are you
Tasmanian
serious?
devil?
Oh, yeah. I
And
just didn't know that's what
and I
his
walked
name
into the
was.
wing,
Ramen.
and Ramen was there. And I went up to because I was like, "There's someone inside Ramen." And I walked up and I said, "Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it for coming down. I hope you're well." And there was a guy standing next to me. I was like, "Nice to meet you, mate. How you going?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "How are you?" And then he went, "What are you? Are you joking?" And then I looked back, and Ramen's empty carcass was hanging. I was talking to an empty man, an empty Ramen, and then they're like, and then they just it didn't matter what I said for the next 10 minutes. The guy would just go, "That was the funniest thing I've ever seen." He was just like, yeah, but thank you for coming. He's like, "You just talked to," and I was like, "Yeah."
But I think there was this added layer because the sound check was going over. So Ramen was sitting in the wings and sound check was going over. So we wouldn't release Broden. Broden's like, "We've got to go talk to Ramen. We've got to wrap this sound check up and Zach's got to meet Ramen."
But yeah, Tasmania's not a funny place.
No, it's
So
Why is his name Ramen? Like, what did that? Where did
Oh,
that
we
come
did
from?
know because it's like
like
a
a-
rascal.
Tasmanian
Yeah.
nickname. Oh, you're Ramen.
Ah,
You're a bit
I'd
of a
never
Ramen.
heard of it
I
either.
quite like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
They have good names for things like the Jack Jumpers for the
Basketball team.
It means
Mm.
mischievous person, scallywag, or ratbag.
Yeah, I
It's
like
uses-
that. That's cool.
And perfect for Jacob Gaynor as well.
yeah, he's a scallywag.
Mm.
Yeah.
He also has, and also I was going to say, I don't know.
Anyway, we'll see him on Sunday at Princess Park.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm tipping the Blues.
Me
Same.
too. Blues.
Absolutely, they'll do it. And then the last game is what 17th versus 18th,
Yeah.
Suns versus Collingwood.
It annoys me that it's actually 18th v 17th.
At where are we up there?
Yep.
We're up there. Oof.
Collingwood for me.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Sorry,
guys.
Tom.
Pies.
My team not very good.
We had a lot of
Focused on
enthusiasm.
next year.
Yeah.
Sunny and Ava.
And get more games into Harris.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
been very good. Almost a goal a game.
Yeah.
Very, very
Oh my
good.
God.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week. It's been a great episode.
I think so.
We've had so much to cover. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
I think you could be one of my absolute favourites for ever coming in.
There you go. That's a big call.
Can we put in to get some Cordner bubble heads?
Yeah, we're getting.
Thanks,
nods.
Matisse.
Michael Voss is in
To
the
add to
corner of the
Gab
room.
Pound.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll get out of here. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great week. Bounce that pill. And thank you to everyone for watching. Lots of lovely comments and things. People going off. That was great. Did you have fun doing this?
I did have fun. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
good.
good. Thank you.
Let's get out of here.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Marnie.
Thank you.
Are you feeling you're going to go have some protein after the swim?
Yeah.
Have some eggs. See how
Why
many
not?
you can get down before you go to bed.
But I did like wore my Apple Watch and I haven't even didn't even close my exercise ring. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What?
Didn't even
'Cause
register you were
yeah.
exercising.
Because I exercise for half an hour every day. Well, I exercise for more than that, but my ring is half an hour, but it didn't close. You know, I got home and it was only like you'd done like 10 minutes of exercise or some shit.
That's great.
It's so funny.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you, everyone. Bounce that pill.